What is evident is that colonialism and the colonial mindset in particular has created a global hierarchy of political, economic, physical, and cultural power, which is still evident, for example, in the imbalance of power in international institutions such as the United Nations Security Council, the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, and the World Trade Organization. So in terms of moving forward on this issue of reparations, it's significant to note that it is an element of international law and international criminal law. There is a United Nations basic principles on the issue of reparations. And it's also worthwhile to note that there is no statute of limitations on the brutal atrocities of the transatlantic slave trade, colonial and apartheid exploitation. And so these issues, in fact, are not going to disappear from the agenda, or I should say even the African agenda, and they will continue to persist on the policy space. Interestingly enough, some countries in the global north have begun to acknowledge this fact, and we have the phenomenon of the return of artifacts, the return of knowledge, treasures, and artifacts looted from Africa during the course of colonialism and slavery. And it is necessary to acknowledge that beyond a symbolic value, there is an element of a restitution of the harm done and the wrongs perpetrated against Africans and African bodies that were extracted forcefully from the continent. This is also not unique to Africa. The artifacts that were stolen by the German Nazi regime is also being returned to its rightful owners in various Western countries and also in Israel. This is why this principle should not be a surprise. It is a phenomenon that is being addressed globally. In fact, the United Nations Intergovernmental Committee on Promoting the Right of Return of Cultural Property to Countries of Origin or its restitution is a committee that is functioning to address the illicit appropriation of property going forward. So in terms of rebuilding and restoring the relationship between Africa and former slave-owning and colonial countries, reparations has this very important function of interrogating the broken relationship between Europe and North America and Africa. And there is a growing movement already in North America and Europe amongst Africans in the diaspora to reconnect and to return back to the African continent. And in this context, reparation is a process that also enables the opportunity to inaugurate a new relationship, to reset the relationship, which should contribute towards the reconfiguration of a new geopolitical order that is aligned with ongoing efforts to transform the multilateral system, notably the UN Security Council, given the shifting sands that we see and the efforts to undo the post-Second World War order and undermine existing multilateralism.